Hey, what's up, guys? It's Nick here, and welcome to another episode of Meet the Talk with Plebs. This week's guest is Sam, aka Pumpkin Toshi. This is an episode I've been wanting to do for a while now, and it's because I've become friends with Sam, like, I want to say around a year ago, and I've talked to him pretty much every single day since. He's also in my group chat of like 10, well, now 10 other Zoomers. So we talk pretty much like all day, every day on Twitter. It's funny that I recorded with him this week, especially since some old tweets from, I think it was September 6th or September 19th, 2019 resurfaced on the timeline. And it was a thread of both me and him. And I just thought it was funny to see, go back and read all of our old tweets and see how far we've come since then. But I think y'all will really enjoy this episode. Sam has some great stories to share. So without further ado, meet Sam.
Hey Sam, welcome to the show. Glad you could come on.
Hey, thanks for having me, Nick.
Yeah, no problem. You and me have been pretty good friends for quite a while now. Like we talk pretty much like all day, every day about Bitcoin, about life, about girls, about pretty much everything. And I know I've been trying to get you to come on this pod for a while now, but with the time zone differences between us, it's been pretty difficult to make this happen. So I'm really happy that we could finally make it happen.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. I think we've been friends for over a year, maybe a year and a half now. You're my first friend on Bitcoin Twitter,
That's
and you got me
awesome.
off the shitcoin stage. So
Yeah, I remember. I gave you an idea for your profile pic. I mean, you've
yeah,
changed it since, but it was your profile pic for quite a bit.
yeah, but the Pokemon thing's kind of a theme now, isn't it?
What What do you mean?
Well, I'm Pikachu on
Oh
Twitter.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna stick with that theme.
Sounds good. But
Yeah.
let's just jump right into it. How did you find Bitcoin and what's your rabbit hole story?
So it actually started in 2015 when my dad brought home a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad. I'm sure you know about it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is basically what got me excited in just business in general and economics, more specifically, real estate. And I had a part-time accounting teacher at school who actually spent majority of his time investing, once again, specifically real estate. And he was discussing in class how he made his yearly salary in a month from selling one of his homes, and I was really interested in how he did it. And funnily enough, he told me to leave school, not go to university, earn as much money as I can before I'm 30, buy a house, pay the mortgage off as quickly as possible, so then I can have large amounts of equity in order to buy a second home, third home, etc., and just kind of make money off that. And looking further into what he said, I kind of thought about what I should do by the time I'm 30, and if I want to be, financially secure, financially free. And one night I was just looking for books that were related to Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I came across Dave Ramsey's Money Makeover book. I'm not sure if you've heard of it, Nick. Have you heard of Dave Ramsey?
I have not.
He's a guy that basically teaches noobs how to manage their money, just like eliminating debt and saving as much money as you can.
Okay.
But anyway, this was really useful as a 15-year-old kid because no one had actually taught me about how to make money. I didn't grow up with parents that were highly educated, or I'm just like a low middle class kind of family. So no one's in business. So it was really useful to learn about how to save money and how to eliminate debt. But anyway, after high school, I knew that I wanted to pay off my university in full because I wanted to go to university. Originally, I wanted to study law and become a police officer, but that changed once I found Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I got a job at the start of 2018. That's obviously when Bitcoin topped, and a dude at my work was shilling Ripple. So I got the standard shitcoin shill. He was telling me it's like Bitcoin, but it's faster and better, all that kind of shit. And obviously, the person I am, I'm a critical thinker, and I don't believe anybody's bullshit. So I researched all this kind of stuff myself, and I found the Eric Voorhees and Peter Schiff Bitcoin debate, and that was really interesting because I didn't know either of them, and I actually became a fan of both, even though Peter Schiff in that debate was acting kind of like a dickhead.
Yeah.
But the biggest problem when I was first getting introduced into, the shit coins that the guy at my work was introducing me to, and the just Bitcoin in general, was it was actually really, really hard to buy Bitcoin in New Zealand at that time. And so I was working for, 6 months because I couldn't buy Bitcoin because it was too hard. I was still listening to Peter Schiff, and I got interested in gold. And I thought, because gold is a lot easier to buy than Bitcoin, I went to a bullion dealership, or whatever you call them. I don't know what you call them. It's boomer rocks.
Yeah.
But I went and I talked to the dude about gold and what I was interested in doing. And obviously, from what Peter was saying and all that kind of stuff, I knew that gold was undervalued and everything else has been inflated. But anyway, I went there. The guy showed me what an ounce of gold looks like. And have you seen what an ounce of gold looks like before?
Not in person, no.
You look at it, and it's $2,000, and it's like this tiny plate. It's so tiny, you could lose it so easily. It's no bigger than the 24-word seed phrase paper, like that kind of size flat.
Yeah, I know
And
what
maybe,
you're talking about.
Yeah. But anyway, I kind of looked at that and I'm like, I don't really want to put my money in that because it just looked like nothing. So after that, I kind of thought I'll just focus purely on Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's more than just something you can hold. It's a network protocol. It's got really interesting monetary like rules and everything kind of like that. So I focused on Bitcoin, and I eventually found a app called CX, and that's where I bought my first Bitcoin, and I bought 100 New Zealand dollars worth. And the next day, I got so excited after putting it in my blockchain.info hot wallet.
Oh boy.
I bought a couple of grand worth of Bitcoin at around 7,000 USD.
That's awesome.
And around that time, it was the Bcash ABC and the Bcash SV hard fork. And I watched my $2,100 worth of Bitcoin halve in value. And that's really tough, being a first-time Bitcoiner and the value of your Bitcoin drops in half.
What were you thinking at that moment? Were you like, oh my God, this is a scam, I made a mistake? Or were you like still convinced?
Because I didn't really care too much about the money value, I was more interested in Bitcoin itself. It wasn't too much of a worry for me. I just wanted to learn more.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't sell, obviously, and I had just started listening to Andreas. So I was binge watching his videos and Max Kaiser and all those kind of stuff, all those kind of guys. And there's actually a DM from me asking Andreas about the Bcash and Bitcoin SV hard fork stuff, because I didn't know at that stage. I just had to keep trying to find information to learn about it. And I wasn't on Twitter either, so that information just wasn't there for me. But after that, that's when I went fully down into the rabbit hole. I was listening to Andreas videos 6 to 8 hours a day at work, because I could just have headphones in and just listen. And same with Max Kaiser. And as I got further on to my Bitcoin journey, I was listening to Andrew Polistra and like the San Francisco Bitcoin Devs YouTube channel. That's really useful. That's how I learned about Taproot and Graphroot and Snore and all that kind of stuff, which is really, really interesting. But after that, that's when I started to go on Twitter. And I started, funnily enough, following American Hodl's old account first. and Ship Poster Child. I'm not sure if you remember or know who that guy is, but anybody that's listening that follows him will know that and miss him. Hashtag rip fartface, but I don't know if you know him.
Wait, what
And,
was his name again? What'd you say?
Fartface.
Fart face? Yeah,
Yeah,
FFTK.
Fartface. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I still
No,
follow him.
no, not that Fartface. Different one.
Different one?
At
Okay.
Ship Poster Child.
It sounds familiar, but I'm not 100% sure.
Right. Well, very, very good Twitter banter. It was quite funny. But anyway, on Twitter, I found you also, and I think you were shitting on shitcoiners.
Probably.
And at that time, I did dabble a little bit in XRP because of what my guy at work said, and I kind of treated it as an investment to get more Bitcoin. But as we all know, when we go through that shitcoin phase, it never works.
Oh,
It
yeah.
never goes well. You always get wrecked by the shitcoins, and Bitcoin is just a lot safer to just hold. But yeah, I found you. You're shitting on shitcoiners. I liked your style. I followed you on Twitter, obviously, and we had a bit of banter. You started harassing me and told me to change my name from Crypto Sam to something else, and you kept shitting on me for that. And I felt insecure. I wanted to call myself Bitcoin Sam, but there was already a dude called Bitcoin Sam. But anyway, eventually I sold every last shitcoin I had because of you, Nick, and I became a Toxie Maxi like I am today, and just shitting on shitcoiners on Twitter, which is good fun. You're obviously my first Bitcoin best friend, and following along with that, I think it was a few weeks or a month later, there was that video circling around Bitcoin Twitter of that lady at the, I can't remember Craig Wright's company's name, but it was some conference, and she was calling Craig Wright Pumpkin Man, and said he should go back to the farm with his tomatoes or something and grow a pumpkin farm. I don't fucking know. But I think I saw Psychedelic, is it Alberto?
Yeah.
Comment, and he put Pumpkin Toshi. And I saw that opportunity and I took it as quick as I could, and I changed my name to Pumpkin Toshi on Twitter. And that's basically how I made it to where I am today.
Dude, when you said Crypto Sam, that like just it gave me like war flashbacks back to when we first met on Twitter, and I remember exactly when I was shitting on some shitcoiner, and I remember you popped in the feed. I was like, Crypto Sam? Well, I guess this guy gets it next. Like,
So fucking cringy. Oh my god.
but yeah,
Yeah.
I remember you DM'd me and we were talking for like a while, for like a couple days, just like, and I remember telling you like, dude, like do what you want with your money, but like get rid of the shit coins, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
When you're holding shit coins, you've kind of got that insecurity, especially when you know about Bitcoin. You're
Like like
it's just
something's
that
wrong.
greed. That greed gets to you. You want more. So you try and gamble and you trade and all that kind of stuff when you first start. And I've lost a lot of Bitcoin from trading and dabbling in shit coins and all that kind of stuff. And it usually doesn't work out for most people.
Mm-hmm.
And that insecurity that you have when you're holding those shit coins, it's not a fun feeling.
Oh yeah, it's like I remember when I was a shitcoiner, I always felt like I had to justify why I was holding them, because I knew deep down that I really didn't believe in them and that it was wrong to be holding them. So if like people ask me like, "Oh, do you hold Bitcoin?" I'd be like, I mean, yeah, I also hold a lot of these other coins, but it's for reasons, X, Y, and Z. And like I definitely get the insecure feeling of it because you just know it's wrong.
Yeah, and the biggest thing is when you try and talk to shitcoiners about how bad their shitcoins actually are, when you're holding them, they just absolutely attack you for no reason. But they can't defend themselves because they're just shit protocols.
Mm-hmm. they can't they love a shitcoin, but they can't fundamentally, prove why it's good or why it's better, etc. So like they lose every argument they try and have on Twitter with any maximalist because you can't win when your coin just fucking sucks.
They have no strong monetary properties whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. And then literally all of them, 100% of them, you just go back to the founder, and the founder dumped on them. Like, I always find that hilarious. And then just so many things wrong.
You see that in DeFi with all of the rug pulls.
Oh, dude, fuck DeFi. This is not even get into that. But moving on to our next question, how has Bitcoin changed you in your life?
I think most importantly, in my life, maybe others who are listening to this don't care about it, but I think finding you and the Zoomers and building our group chat has been just so awesome to see. And we've just got a really good group of guys on Bitcoin Twitter, not just the Zoomers, all of the millennials and the boomers that we fuck around with, just a really, really good group of guys that we can just make really funny jokes with. And we've all got really similar personalities and, just how we look at the world and how we want to change it is just so cool. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think that's what's changed my life the most.
For context for the viewers, me and Sam are a part of a group chat of 9 other kids our age. It's a Zoomer group chat, so that's just what he's talking about when he says that.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, you're good. But I totally agree with you, dude. I fucking love everyone on the Bitcoin Twitter, especially the Zoomers.
It's so funny. I love it. I love shitposting. It's great. I feel like I was born to do it.
It's the best, especially like the other night when American Hodl tagged us in that thing, like, oh, you guys, better do something for like the 100K party. And for the next hour or something, like the tweet blew up just because we were in the comments memeing the entire time. And American Hodl's memeing with us, and then other people are joining in and stuff, and like it's just funny. Like it genuinely makes me laugh.
It's so good. The guys on Bitcoin Twitter are better than any other guys I've met in real life. That's a fact. Their principles, their morals, their ethics, their goals, the things they want to do, how they want to change the world, it's just unlike no other group of people, no other individual I've ever met in my entire life.
I have to agree. And when you eventually start meeting these people from Twitter in person, like I did at Dallas, while I was in Dallas at BitBlock Boom, like it's so much better. Like you're like you literally stop and think these are my people. Like you have everything in common with them. You get along with them. It's the type of people you want to be surrounded by. And I remember like when I graduated high school, I was like, I don't want to interact and like hang around like, losers anymore, like people who don't do shit with their lives. I want to be the dumbest person in the room. I want to be surrounded by, super successful people. And naturally that gravitated me towards Bitcoin Twitter, where literally you can't be on Bitcoin Twitter and be dumb for a long period of time because you're going to learn stuff. You're going to get more motivated to be successful and all this other good stuff. Like this good energy just rubs off on you. And after a while, you just start becoming smarter and a better person.
There's always going to be someone who's smarter than you. Mm-hmm. And Bitcoin Twitter is a great example for that. And any questions you ask, someone will answer it and they'll be respectful and sometimes respectful. Sometimes we get pretty toxic.
Yeah.
But for the most part, yeah, it's really good.
I like to say Bitcoin Twitter is like a battleground of ideas. Like everyone's throwing shit left and right, and like I'm not throwing shit, but like throwing out ideas left and right. Like people agree with you. A lot of people may not agree with you, and you get into these long debates with people on Twitter, and it really sharpens your mind, in my opinion.
Well, if you follow me, it's probably shit. just foreskins and Asian girls. That's what most people know me for. So yeah, shout out to Bitcoin Magazine.
Yeah. So moving on to the next question. What's your best Bitcoin pitch?
I thought I'd be a little bit cheesy and just say Bitcoin is a decentralized peer-to-peer electronic cash system.
Okay.
Yep.
It's simple but effective.
Yep. And inflation is the expansion of money supply and credit.
So when you're explaining this to someone who has, no idea what the fuck you're talking about, what do you think they're thinking when you say like an electronic peer-to-peer cash system? They're like, isn't that the system we have today? Or like, what do you mean? Like, how is that different, from what we use today?
To be honest, most people I talk to in New Zealand are dumb as fuck and don't get it. That's being honest. But I think for a few people that I've got interested in Bitcoin, and they've got a decent amount, it's just kind of getting them off zero and just slowly explaining to them all the fundamental properties of Bitcoin, talking about the network, talking about the coin itself, and yeah, all the different value props that you get from that. You just have to teach them slow because it's so hard to understand all these concepts, and you get thrown at you all these new words, all these new things that you've never heard of before. And it takes a long time to learn. And for us, we went down that rabbit hole, and everyone says it. You read, you can't stop reading, you don't eat for a week, you can't sleep because you just constantly think about Bitcoin. A lot of these normies, they don't go through that. They're slow learners. You have to teach them slow. They're not like us. So yeah, it's a little bit different.
I mean, I know I was kind of a slow learner when I first got into Bitcoin. I mean, at least I think I was a slow learner until I started to really understand it, and my learning kind of started to pick up. Do you think you were a slow learner when you first got into Bitcoin?
No, I think I was really quite a fast learner. I was just slow at getting to that rabbit hole point where I was actually just focusing on it.
Mm-hmm.
No one was there telling me what Bitcoin is. No one was there explaining it to me. No one was there teaching me about money. No one was there teaching me about economics. I just went fully into it. Yeah. So I don't think I was a slow learner. Not like anybody that I've taught how to buy Bitcoin or to hold it.
Okay. Have you been has your pitch worked on anyone? Have you onboarded friends or family or even strangers?
Yeah. So when Bitcoin was at 3K, I liked to, because I was so enthusiastic about Bitcoin, I liked to hand out a few sets to friends and family. So I think I gave my brother 5 million sats just as a starter to get him interested about it, which hurts now. And my friend as well. He was my best friend from high school. I got him pretty interested in it as well. But once again, they are just kind of people that hold it on the side. They're not Bitcoiners, so to say, like we are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they just have, a little bit.
So like that 5 million stats you gave to your brother, that shouldn't hurt too much because, it's still in your family.
I think from getting him interested in Bitcoin, the wealth that I've created for our family by just giving him 5 million sats will pay off heavily in the future. So obviously you've got two incomes that are stacking sats instead of one.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I've tried to get my brother into Bitcoin. No way. He's not budging. He won't do it.
Yeah.
But so 2 more questions.
Yep.
What is the most amazing thing about Bitcoin to you?
So, speaking about family and friends again, you remember this, and I'll kind of explain the story for the people listening. Is I think it was the middle of last year. There was quite a lot of trouble in Chile. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Not 100%, but
Okay, so
as
there
you
was
explain more, I'll probably remember.
yeah, there was quite a bit of tension with the government and its people, and there were lots and lots of protests about
Oh, wait. Didn't you know someone in Chile?
yeah.
It was yeah. Okay, I remember.
So I can't quite remember because it was long ago, but there was tension between the people and the government, and there was huge protests and riots, and the police and the military were going into the streets. They were doing drive-by shootings on people that were protesting. They were putting in curfews at night so you couldn't go out. And a friend from school who was Chilean, she was absolutely petrified, and she was trying to look after dogs who had run away from their homes because of all the military and police that were going down the streets and shooting to scare people to go inside, or just enforcing the curfew because, in these South American countries, people don't necessarily want to listen to their governments, and they will go out at night and they will protest and fight against the state. But anyway, I was talking to her, and they had been shutting down people's bank accounts and stopping people from withdrawing money from ATMs. So she couldn't actually buy food. And the food that was available on the shelves was very little, because what the Chilean government did was they stopped the food trucks from delivering to local supermarkets and stuff.
That's fun.
And she was looking for a way to maybe escape Chile, because obviously I thought it was going to get a hell of a lot worse. Thankfully it didn't, but she was ready to get out. And because she didn't have access to her money, I just quickly set her up with a Bitcoin hot wallet, and I sent her 1,000,000 sats. And I said, this is just to get you started. I taught her, a few of the basics. We quickly sent a transaction back and forth. I basically explained it to her a little bit. I said in like Venezuela and stuff, they used it to escape to Colombia, I think. And yeah, so I was just preparing to actually send her a few $1,000s in order for her to escape the country, just as kind of a good deed. We weren't really close or anything, but I was willing to help, and I made a Bitcoiner pretty quickly that way, because she could see the faults that a centralized system has. She saw the faults in governments and how quickly they can change. And when you experience it firsthand, your opinion on governments, your opinion on the way the system works, changes very quickly. And that's what these socialist, commie, leftist people need to learn as well. It's all well and dandy until you actually see the reality of living under a communist state, living under a centralized system.
That's actually crazy. I completely forgot about that story. I remember you telling me all about it in our group chat, because I could tell you were really worried, especially when we would video chat on Discord and stuff. And I got a question. What happened to her in the end? Did she get out of Chile, or did she go back to New Zealand, or?
No, she actually stayed in Chile, and it looks like it's calmed down a little bit now. These big protests and stuff have stopped. I'm not sure why it calmed down. I just set her up with the Bitcoin wallet, and then just left her to her own device. And I said, if you need me, just message me. I'll send you the Bitcoin.
That's I gotta commend you for that, dude. A lot of people would not have, gone out of their way to send someone money across the world to help them in literally in a time of need that they need it the most. And you did a good thing, dude.
Well, do you know what's the crazy thing? And with all these normies who try and act like they're all moral and all that kind of stuff, she's posting so much about what was happening in Chile. She was posting personal videos of like outside her house, police shooting at people who are out past the curfew time. No, not one of her friends messaged her asking her if she was okay.
Shit.
It was me.
That really makes you think. I don't really know what to say to that.
When people need you most, when you need people most, they don't have your back.
You find out who the real ones are very quickly, and you were the real one. You manned up and helped her out when she needed it the most.
We weren't even close. So, yeah.
Well,
that says a lot about the Bitcoiner personality, eh?
Yeah. So we could talk about that for a while, but just because time constraints, we're already at the 30-minute mark. But I do want to ask you this one last question. What is your price prediction for New Year's 2021 and Bitcoin at the fourth halving?
So I was thinking about this a little bit, and I thought maybe 70K the end of next year. And for the fourth halving, I thought maybe we're going to go through our Bitcoin bull market maybe mid-2023, maybe the start of 2023. And by our halving, we probably would have dropped a little bit. So I'd say maybe 200K for our halving. This time's
200K?
purchasing power. So if there's inflation, it should be more.
Okay.
Large amounts of inflation.
I like that answer.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it. I really want to thank you for coming on the show. I always have a great time talking with you, and I really appreciate you coming on.
It's great fun. Thanks for having me, Nick.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you made it to the end of this video, leave a like, subscribe, go follow Sam on Twitter. I guarantee you'll laugh your ass off if you do it.
Don't follow me on Twitter. I promise. You'll regret it.
All right, guys. Peace. I'll see you in the next one.
See ya.